Whatever voice is, it's a different color than the question marks.
Yeah.
Well, question marks, I think, were Raynar's decaying body.
Just making noises.
Gurgling. I mean, he was spilling blood. I don't know.
That's what was throwing me is like, I was like, can he hear whatever that sound is? Can he hear it? Because the first time he didn't react to it. I'm like,
yeah.
What? Reality slowly drifts in front of my face in a similar way to how a ray of sunshine would cast a red glow on the inside of your eyelids. Every day, waking up becomes harder and harder. Sometimes I can't even understand if this is a normal thing or if I'm just weak. I never was a morning person. Oop. Slowly, each of my 5 senses come back to me. I immediately remember where I am and why I'm here. Usually when I wake up in a new or unfamiliar place, I'm struck with a bit of confusion before realizing where I am. It's different this time, though. This isn't like waking up in another person's house after spending the night with them. This is different, because the events that led to it haunted my dreams. I knew I was going to wake up to this. Images of Raynar's body slumped onto the floor with soulless eyes invade my mind. But I try not to think about any of that, yet, as I'm not fully awake. It says justice on the little board. On the bench. I wonder if that's put there as like a statement in its design, or if it's like a prisoner's response. I assume that used to be a chair over there, just obliterated. Someone just, I hate this stool. There, now I have less things.
I see a bunch of dirt and like puddles.
Yeah. You can tell
suddenly the greenery growing around the castle seems a lot less welcoming and actually just kind of shitty.
Yeah, here it's just unkempt, and over there it's like, that's just a freestanding puddle in your cold cell of stone. Take good care of that one blanket. I strained my eyes open wider and wiped the feeling of dried tears from my face. The stone bench that I'm lying down on is cold and smooth. Painfully, I sit up and look around. What I assumed to be a sack that I was lying my head on was actually a pillow made from straw and a ragged cloth. There's a large tarp bundled up in the end of the bench, which I guess is supposed to be a blanket. I wasn't too cold last night, but I wish I had known that was there. The cell wouldn't be too bad if the bed wasn't a giant slab of rock. I'm better off sleeping on the floor. The only window is a small hole busted into the wall that's barred off. On the other side is a cell door that's locked with heavy chains. Along with that is a straw laid all over the floor and a few puddles of water. The shackles that I wore for a short time last night were laying there in a pile of straw. That's where they must have fallen after Lyall took them off of me. So he's just walking around with shackles all the time, I guess. Part of
Lyall took them off.
No, Lyall had them, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
He's always accompanied by the clank of shackles everywhere he walks. I get up from my sitting position and stand, stretching out my legs and arms. My clothes feel dusty, and any skin I have exposed feels dry and dirty. My hair feels messy, and I shake my head, letting it straighten itself before haphazardly tying back again. I don't really care about it looking nice anymore. I would just rather not have my hair in my eyes. I'd cut it, but I have a feeling Lyall likes it too much. Lyall. He said he would come back for me, but he didn't say when. Now that I think about it, why hasn't anything happened yet? Shouldn't someone have come down to see me now? Good or bad intentions? I sit back down on the slab of stone. My mind seems to be all over the place.
If you can see the symbol on the top of the door or the cell, the
triangle
symbol. Yeah.
Yeah, way up there. Backgrounds are hard to draw. I cannot do this. I can't decide what to think about. I try to distract myself with other issues, but my thoughts always wander back to the worst place. Raynar is dead, They all think I did it. Except Lyall, of course. I'm honestly surprised he doesn't think it's me, though. The body was freshly killed and I was the only one there. If only I could function better under stress. Can't believe this. If I wanted to kill Reyna, I probably would have planned it so that I'm not standing there like an idiot when it happens. Shock really took me over there, and I also got another one of those sudden headaches. If I get out of this, I need to get those checked out. Whatever they're caused by, it can't be good. Tapping my feet on the ground in front of me, I notice a chair that's been thrown against the wall. Its pieces are scattered all over the floor and look old and rotten. Who could have killed him? Several people come to mind, but when I think about it, I don't know what any of them are capable of. Nobody reasonable really comes to mind. There is one thing that I am certain of, though. I was framed. Someone has it out for me and I don't know who. I could sit here and rack my brain for hours, but I soon hear footsteps echoing down the damp hall. I don't get up from my seat until I really start to listen to the footsteps. They're extremely familiar. I jump up and run to the cell door. Lyall? He gets closer, and soon I can see him down the bend of the hall.
Sure.
He approaches the door to the cell. There's a look of worry on his face, and I can tell he's been having a rough day. He probably has it worse than I do. I limply reach my hand through one of the bars. I don't know if he has it worse than you do, buddy. In a cell wanted for murder. He gets on his knees and takes it in his paw.
I'm sorry, I should have come down sooner. I wasn't able to, though.
Why not? His sad and tired eyes look up at mine, and I can see the stress.
The entire kingdom is in shambles. Rumors are already beginning to spread throughout the town, and everyone thinks that you killed Raynar. It's only a matter of time before this spreads throughout the rest of the north.
I figured that would happen. Has anything worse happened?
No, but the worst is yet to come. Everyone is scared, confused, and furious. I and several others were up half the night with Liz trying to wrap our heads around it.
Others?
Yes. Anyone who was the witness and several other officials. The prince joined us halfway through.
How is he taking it?
Not well. The bells started ringing and he locked himself in his room after finding out. He didn't even want to see the body, but to be honest, I wouldn't want to see it either if I were him. One of the guards told me that he could hear sobbing and things being thrown around the room.
Oh God. He probably thinks I did it. I wouldn't blame him, but I really don't need more reasons for him to hate me right now.
He joined us about an hour later. Not before kicking over your chair, of course.
I can imagine that. Well, he can honestly be forgiven for losing his temper.
Agreed. He had enough stability to contribute to our little debate last night, however.
What has been discussed so far? He sits down in front of the cell door and leans his head back against the wall. I do the same, finding a nice pile of straw to sit down on.
We mostly tried to figure out what we were going to do next. Laying our king to rest was one of the topics. That should be taken care of soon.
I still can't believe he's dead.
Neither can I. He wanted to be buried next to his wife.
Behind the gardens?
Yeah. How did you know where she's buried?
I was taking a walk through the gardens after we visited the village when I happened upon the grave. Raynar was there, and we talked for a bit. You came back to my room drunk that night, so I didn't get to tell you.
Yeah.
He was paying his respects, and I caught him in a bit of a vulnerable moment. After that, we just talked for a bit.
He went there every month. Right now, they're already making the arrangements to have him buried there. The biggest topic was what this means. Some see this as an act of war, but I doubt that. I feel there's something far more sinister at play.
I feel the same way.
Given the exchange of ambassadors was proposed by the Kingdom of Heron, Prince Adrius thinks that you were sent to cause chaos and weaken Lyre.
That's ridiculous. Aaron would never dream of starting conflict between the kingdoms. Why would they want to start a war with Lyre and Driz?
That's not what they're thinking. The majority of people see this as an attack on Lyre from both kingdoms.
What?
They have reasons to suspect that Driz is part of this plot. The Kingdom of Lyre has been becoming more and more isolated over the years. Trade has been slowing down, and they have suspicions that Aaron and Driz are trying to seize control to benefit themselves. At least that's what I heard. I'm not a politician.
Doesn't make any sense. Seize control? Improving relations between the kingdoms is the desirable outcome, simply due to the fact that all the kingdoms would benefit equally. Starting a conflict, let alone a full-on war, would be detrimental to the entirety of Tigran. No. I don't think that's what's happening.
Neither do I. It just doesn't make any sense. Either way, even though Lord Kadaj was appointed Minister of Foreign Relations, Prince Adrius considers him a political hostage. Nothing too serious has been decided yet, considering Driz is only under suspicion of collusion.
I assure you I haven't been scheming with Kadaj.
Not gonna bring up the really concerning conversation that we had with him, though.
I was gonna say, Kadaj was... You weren't scheming with Kadaj, but I think Kadaj was scheming with you.
This is gonna become a thing that there's a lot of, like, characters not bringing up any useful information in the right order to, like, bring things forward, where it's just kind of like, oh my god, like, somebody bring the thing up, please. Like, he was so suspicious.
Kadaj was so weird.
So, like, enjoy it while it lasts. And I mean, I like the little, like, kind of when he's like, what happened? And it's like, you know, from a reader's perspective, that's a pretty clear flag of, like, he didn't do it. Like, you should not be suspecting him. But it still is like, Richter, like, you basically had a guy walk past you and say, like kind of flash a little dagger behind his back and go like, ooh, looky here. I know. Trust me, Richter, I believe you.
I can't help but remember the conversation that Kadaj and I had the other day. This is a Kadaj quote, technically.
Oh, sure. They fear that Lyre is falling out of touch with the rest of the kingdoms. What else, though? What else did he say?
Uh-huh. The true Game of Thrones begins tomorrow.
Exactly. Oh, right. He was
Weird
being
thing
ominous
to say.
as shit.
Weird thing to say right before the king gets murdered. It sure tipped me off immediately. So it's true. The kingdoms do fear that Lyre is falling out of touch. Even some of the citizens of Lyre feel this way.
Don't know what this means either.
I don't.
It's
Yeah,
like falling out of touch.
or even what the citizens would know, because he doesn't go outside.
Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, when Richter himself is the most out of touch that anyone in this story is.
Yeah. But he said his goal was to bring stability. So he couldn't have a hand in this. That's impossible. No green cat has ever lied in a fantasy furry visual novel romance. So he couldn't have a hand in this, could he?
Unless...
I don't remember seeing him before I left the party last night.
Thankfully, Liz somewhat agrees with me.
After
Really?
dancing with you, she doesn't believe you have the balls to do it.
Yes.
You dance with someone, do you know them?
There is that, like, I had raised my complaints last time about the, like, kind of tantrum Richter has, but that's obviously is the larger narrative setup there. It's like, okay, now everybody thinks you're crazy. So when it's said that you're killing the king, it's like, oh yeah, that would be the guy that did it. But
in your
still,
speciesist, I can't believe it. Unless...
can't
She
accept.
also believes that there's something far more complex going on here.
I hate speciesist so much. It's so hard to say. It's the worst.
Speciesist. Worcestershire.
The only bad part is she's still conflicted whether she thinks you're the one who did it or not.
That makes sense. She doesn't really know me.
I basically just walked into a room twice, screamed, and walked out.
Yeah. Anything she does know would definitely
That's her entire impression of you.
Yeah.
I did turn down a dance with her, so she probably has every right to tell me.
Well, they danced, and then he was like, but I'm going to dance with men. Bye.
Of a different species. That's how much I don't like you.
And anything she does know would definitely be confusing.
I tried to convince all of them that you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. That you were framed.
What do they think of that?
Liz seemed to consider it as a possibility.
I mean, if you are an assassin spy, then you slept with Lyall to get him out of the way.
Yeah.
Well, now that he's dealing with my mess, I can kill the king.
Prince Adrius is currently blinded by hatred, but in the near future I can see him considering it as well.
I doubt that. It's nice to hear I'm not seen as completely guilty yet. Each moment we continue to talk about this, and every second I learn what's happening, I get more and more stressed.
There's another thing.
He sits up a bit and leans toward the cell door.
We have a lot more information considering the scene of the murder. That's what I've been doing most of the time.
Was there anything that could prove my innocence?
Nothing yet. But there has been some very helpful insight.
Like what?
Well, first there's the body. He was stabbed twice in the stomach, once in the chest, and then likely had his throat slit to finish the job. Raynar was most likely caught off guard. His antlers tore through the drapes after getting caught in a struggle. We found flakes of gold stuck on the cloth next to the ribs. They were from the antler that he had decorated for the ball.
I feel my insides twist around a bit as I recall the image of the room. Yes, that's interesting, but are there any important revelations?
Yes, there is. The guards confirmed to us the people who had been in the room around the time before his death.
Who else was there?
The guards posted outside of the staircase that leads up the tower to his room confirmed that 4 people had been there around that time. One of the guards, Bjorn, Lord Kadaj, you, and of course Raynar.
Uh-huh. Kadaj? The green-eyed cat of the game?
Bjorn going in and out within the hour.
I knew it.
What?
Kadaj wasn't at the party when we left, was he?
I don't remember seeing him.
I think he and Raynar must have slipped out early. Maybe to take care of something similar to what he had in mind with me.
That is most likely what happened. We questioned him a little last night, and he said he was handling some important business with Raynar. Official questioning hasn't begun yet, but maybe he knows what happened.
Or maybe... He leans forward in interest.
What?
Maybe he had a hand in it. His eyes gleam with shock at first, but I see his thoughts, and watch as he considers the possibility as if he's already done it before. I hope he has. There's only this list of witnesses. And he's like, wait, you mean he could...
Wait, one of the witnesses could have been it?
Even I have to admit, it's not something I would want to believe, but given the things he said in the past, it's not far off. He alluded to events going in an undesirable direction after the winter solstice. Lyall speaks up.
It's not impossible. Bjorn is currently giving his full report to Liz, so we'll find out soon, I guess. But yes, it's completely possible for him to have done it. Do you think he did it?
Like Lyall said, it's possible, but I don't want to believe it. Bjorn could have done it too. Are we sure no one else was in there that night?
Positive. Not only do we have Bjorn's brief report, but several canines, including myself, sniffed around the room.
That is more data. Otherwise, I'm like, there's a window.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be helpful. I forgot you could do that. It's funny to imagine Lyall with his nose pressed to the ground, sniffing like a bloodhound. I doubt that's how he did it, though.
Yes.
So who did you smell then? I wonder if they'd be like, well, we did smell Prince Adrius in that room, but we disregarded it because, you know, he would normally be there. And it's like, he did it! It was him! He came in through the hollows in the walls that all the water and plants come through.
And we only picked up the scent of 4 people. Those are the people who were noted.
Damn. Not a big fan of his dad, I guess. There goes my hopes for it being someone else. There's a long silence before I finally answer his question from before. You asked if I think it's him. The thing is, I don't want it to be, you know, because we're such close friends. But definitely could be.
I agree.
But I thought you didn't trust him. Or at the very least didn't like him. He slumps down lower in his sitting position.
I didn't trust him because I saw him as a man with a motive. Someone who wanted to climb the ranks. But I never would have imagined he would do something like this.
Me when a political official has motive. He pinches the part of his muzzle between his eyes and runs a paw over his head.
I too want to believe that it wasn't him. Only because it would mean Driz had nothing to do with this.
He lowers his paw and looks at the floor.
That would leave Bjorn. Have you seen the bags under his eyes? These crazy.
It's crazy.
If it
He's
was
got
him,
the villain face.
then it would mean it was not a foreign attack, which would make this much more complicated.
Wild twist answer. When Kadaj's caravan was attacked, they actually were all killed and replaced by bandits that are on this mission to finish the job, killing the king. And Kadaj isn't even from Driz. But
I also don't think it could be him. He's always been a beast, but his devotion to this kingdom is unchallenged.
I guess that makes sense. Still, it has to be one of them. Unless...
What is it?
Adrius. What if he... It's not out of the question, but it's extremely improbable. Especially when the evidence... with the evidence we have so far. What if it was patricide?
What? What are you saying?
You know what patricide is, right? Wikipedia.
Victor, now is not the time. Not the time to be sassy.
Wikipedia defines patricide as.
Of course, I know what patricide is. You think Adrius killed his dad?
I shrug my shoulders. It's not an impossibility.
He wasn't in the room at the time, though.
I know. He was out in the village last night. I saw him by the fountain. A weird thing to present as evidence after saying he killed his dad.
Yes.
Lyall thinks for a moment.
He's the portal.
The portal in the fountain. He beaked him.
Well, we did mention very briefly that, like, when Richter's finding his way through the underground passage, I think he said there's, like, some dust on the passageway. I guess that was just the tying up of that loose end of, like, okay, Adrius just came through here. It's the snow from him opening the trapdoor. That explains why the exit to the tunnel was unlocked. Yeah, so that's what he... But still, you said it yourself. He wasn't even there.
You don't have to be in the same room as someone to have them killed. Even so, we don't know if he was out there the whole night.
What motive would he have?
He's the prince.
That's the brown.
Yeah. He says this in a hushed whisper, annoyance in his voice. Not everyone needs a motive, but his is easy to figure out.
Richter,
He cuts himself off and thinks for a moment.
Don't you think you're being a little biased?
No! I mean, we have to consider all possibilities. He looks down at the ground and wrinkles his snout.
I understand what you're saying. And I also know you don't like him. I know he doesn't like you too. Hell, even I'm not particularly fond of him. Lately, they may have been a bit distant or short with each other due to stress, but you've only been here a month. You haven't seen their full relationship. He loved his father. And his father loved him.
He bites his lip a bit, then continues.
Last night he was enraged. He was going through so many emotions, and they all felt genuine. And you know how I'm a good judge on these things.
How often have you gotten to prove that? I know, I just thought I would throw it out there. I just had this feeling that it might be true.
Why?
Audience input. I don't know for sure. He's been saying things to me recently, and I have the feeling that he has it out for me. He curls his lip in response to this. And not too long ago, Kadaj gave me some advice. To trust my own judgment and rely on what I know. To put trust in other people, but never as much as I trust myself.
He also said this really weird thing was going to happen. The time was like specifically going to get bad after the ball. What did that mean?
What did that mean? What do you mean by that, Kadaj? Lyall runs a paw through his fur.
He keeps bringing up Kadaj, and I'm like, oh, he's going to say it. He's remembering every other part of the conversation.
Lyall runs a paw through his fur, listening intently. I could just feel it in my gut that he has something to do with this. His paws brush up against his knee as he considers it.
I don't know, Richter. Maybe you're right, but we should stop throwing around suspects. By that logic, we could suspect the damn servant that saw me half naked last night.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah, the servant that was half baked.
Who told me the king was expecting me?
Uh-huh.
He killed the king and went to go and frame you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He exhales and gathers himself.
But that doesn't mean he was the one who did it.
Oh.
We have to focus on the solid suspects that we have now. They're not very solid.
No.
It's our best chance at proving your innocence.
Suddenly a sharp pain shoots through my body, straight up to my head. Shouldn't we be considering all of our options? My life depends on this. I shout this at him, the searing pain taking over. This upsets him, and once the pain is gone, I instantly regret it. I'm sorry, Lyall. I didn't mean to yell at you, I just...
It's fine, I understand. I know that this must be stressful for you.
No, it's more than that. I'm just tired of talking about this. I lay back on the floor and stare at the ceiling. Something's wrong with me.
Like what?
I'm not sure. Mainly it's these headaches I've been having, but it's something else too. I feel like things are going too fast. Like I'm on a carriage going down a hill and there's no way to stop it. I pause to collect my thoughts, knowing I'm about to go on a very large rant. I've always tried to keep a level head. I was trained to become a master of my emotions. But sometimes I slip. Situations become too stressful and nothing prepares you for what happened last night. I froze. And it's been happening all the time. I get stressed out, I make impulsive decisions, and I do stupid things. Like stab the king. I run my hands through my hair and squint my eyes, the pain still thumping in my head. Lyall, I'm so scared. He shuffles on the ground a bit, then leans forward, a solemn look on his face.
Know how you feel, Richter. Believe me, I do.
That wasn't that big of a rant. I'm just saying, I've seen bigger.
Sometimes we try to do our best to be prepared for anything.
He looks down at his paw, opening and closing the fingers.
But fear gets the better of us. Sometimes it can control us and influence our actions.
He looks out a window to our left with a conflicted expression on his face.
Richter, do you know the reason why I blamed myself for our queen's death?
Why is he bringing this up? It's because he could have stopped it, right?
Yes.
He stares off into space for a moment before continuing.
When I had my eye cut, I couldn't move. Blood was pouring into my eye, and I thought the worst had happened. Fear took over, and I froze up.
He rubs his paw over his eye.
My officer tried to shake me and get me up, but I lost my footing. I wasn't in the moment. Everything happened so fast, and I was scared.
These words echo down the corridor. He looks up at me.
That haunted me for a long time, Richter. I even approached Raynar about it a few years ago because of the pain. I asked him, how could I have been brave in that situation? He gave me some advice. He said, you can't be brave unless you are afraid. Along with, otherwise you're just reckless, but that's beside the point.
He gives a slight smile.
And he's right. You have to stay brave. Fear can help with that.
With that, he ends his speech. I guess I understand what you're saying. I aimlessly fiddle with the ring on my finger as I take it all in. I'll need to work on that. That's pretty good advice.
Has he mentioned a ring on his finger before? Adding a bullet to the list. I just want you to know I've got a TXT file on my desktop called Sussybaka Richter.
Sussybaka Richter.
Send that around at a later date.
There was the I was trained to control my emotions, and I was like, has that come up before?
Yeah, when he was trying to get away from Bjorn, he was like, it's been a long time since I've had something like this happen. It's like, something like, what happened? Something like you being attacked in a sword fight?
Yeah, that was a strange thought for that moment. I was like, what does that mean exactly?
It's basically just every single time Richter talks about something in past tense or like remembers something, it's like, what? What's that?
what are you implying right now? Yeah, no, we'd have to open the script and control F ring. I don't remember.
Okay. He was full of good advice.
Lyall says this with a sense of pride. You really admired him, didn't you? It was more than just your dedication as a knight.
I did. Ever since I started living here, he was like my second father. I was practically raised by him in my teen years.
Please tell me you've had time to grieve.
Not really. I have to focus on what's going on now. It's what he would want me to do.
He'd be very proud of you, Lyall. He gives a slight smile.
I hope so. And I'm going to make him even more proud. I'm going to do everything in my power to get you out of here, love. Raynar may be dead, but I'm going to continue to follow through with the orders he gave me. I will assist you in any way I can.
He stands and sticks a paw through the bars. I get up and take it in my own hand. I love you, Lyall.
I love you too, Richter. I just hope we're doing the right thing. You know, by being together.
What do you mean?
Well, it's just that... I love you, Richter. But you said everything was moving too fast. And if you want to slow down, we can't. This is a weird type of...
we got other things to worry about right now.
Like, Lyall, not now. Also, I think we've inherently slowed down. I don't think we're going to be getting a lot of time together right now.
Yeah, exactly.
In prison. I mean, things can fit between the bars, I guess, but jeez. I run my hand over his paw, feeling the pads beneath the glove, and running my fingers along his. Lyall, I wouldn't say this is from my experience, but I know one thing about this world. Love happens in all kinds of ways. Sometimes it's slow, other times it's fast. Sometimes it's between people who are similar. Sometimes it's between a knight and the person who killed his king. I say this as I run my hand across his cheek. You're very different from me. It's happening very fast, and it happened at a very chaotic time in our lives, but this is the only fast thing in my life that I'm enjoying. You're my light in the dark. Honestly, it only happened fast because you guys are dense. You've been like, you somehow managed to flirt with each other before knowing each other were gay, and without ever broaching the subject, and you've been hanging out with each other exclusively while being kind of horny about it for like months now or something. He leans forward, pressing his snout through the bars, and gives me a kiss on the forehead.
You make me so happy, Richter. Next time I come down here to visit you, I'm going to see about unlocking this door. Maybe I'll even get you better living arrangements, but I don't know if I have control over that. I definitely put you in one of the better cells, though.
Aww.
I appreciate everything you've done so far. He gives a slight, bashful smile.
Speaking of, I should probably be going. I have a lot to do and can't be gone for long.
Oh yes, I'm sure our new king is just itching to order you around. I say this rolling my eyes.
Actually, he's still the prince.
Really? But he's the heir.
He hasn't been crowned yet. Until then, as the king's head advisor, Liz is acting queen.
It's Liz. Liz did it. Just accuse everybody. Oh, so that's why she's been handling everything.
Wait till she finds out we're replacing her.
This whole ordeal has put a heavy burden on her shoulders. It's even worse considering she just got back. She's handling it well, though. Responsibility is one of her strengths.
He rubs a finger on one of the metal bars, collecting dust on the tip of his glove before rubbing it off.
Speaking of them, others might come down to talk to you. Ask questions and whatnot.
You know, visual your novel.
I know you're smart, so play the situation to your strengths.
Okay, I'll try.
I won't ever let anyone hurt you.
He takes my hand in his large paws and leans closer to the bars, looking into my eyes. Not even the prince?
Not even the prince. I'll tell him, listen, you little wretch, he's mine.
There's a moment of
That's
blissful...
the most romantic thing I've ever seen in a visual novel.
He's my wolf. There's a moment of blissful silence as we just enjoy each other's presence before he has to leave. His forehead is pressed to mine, and I feel warmth. It's like whenever he's around, nothing else matters. He pulls away, still holding my hand.
I'll be back, love. I always will.
Aww. He steps away slowly, still trying to hold my hand. My fingertips slide off his gloved paw, and he begins to walk away. I love you, Lyall. There's a pause, and I hear him turn around.
Love you too, Richter.
They just keep going, like, no, you hang up.
No, you hang
Kind of
up.
a couple. I mean, this is a couple that immediately upon having sex for the first time is like, so what are our nicknames together? You'll be my knight in shining armor. It's like
They're so young.
I'm going to do my best to help you in any way I can.
After that, I hear him walk off. The sound of his padded feet walking down the halls fades away, and with each step getting quieter, I feel more and more cold. I can even hear him pass a guard on the way out of the corridor, but I can't make out what he says. The air and the weather begin to take over as I begin to feel weak. The sun is already beginning to set, and the temperature is dropping fast. I walk over to the bench and lay down on it, using the blanket as a sort of cushion. Small pains work their way throughout my body and up to my head, keeping me from worrying about how chilly it is down here. I probably should have asked Lyall if he could get someone to send Leaf down here. He probably doesn't want to see me right now, but I'm definitely in need of some medicine. Something to ease the pain. At least until I can figure out what's going on. I just hope that it's not anything lethal or anything with lasting effects. When did this even start? Only a few weeks ago, I think. To think that only a little over a month ago I was back in Erin. That's been fast, damn. My room was so comfortable, and I had my own tower in the castle, which overlooked the entire capital and the ocean beyond. I would watch the sunset over the horizon every evening while drinking the finest wine. The sun's golden light would bounce off of the tops of the roofs and cast a yellow glow onto the misty air above. It was a pampered life, much better than that of my childhood, but I wasn't very happy. Oh, well, I think we're going to leave him here in the cell for now. Bye.
Oh no, we're almost out of Lyall's.
No, we only have 9 more pages of Lyall's.
Oh shit.
All right, see you next time, everybody. This has been Lyre.
Bye.